Hello! In today's video, I will demonstrate over 100 tips and tricks, hidden features and everything on your Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra, which I'm really excited about. So 100 is quite a lot. Make sure that you lay down or sit down comfortably, get some coffee or tea and start watching it because it's gonna be quite a few things to go through. Feel free also to pause the video at any moment if you want to replicate any tip or trick to see how it works on your device. Many tricks will also work on different models of Samsung, but some of them are only for the S26 Ultra or just for the newer or more expensive models. So now let's see it. The top features, which is my first section, are two features that are really spoken about a lot, and in marketing they are like really loud because they are super new and they are only on this phone. One of them is only on this phone, which is privacy display. You have probably very likely heard about it. Privacy display is a feature that lets you hide your display from others. You can see now, you can see everything. If you're on a bus, you don't really want people to see everything on your screen. What do? You just enable the privacy display. As you can see, now you can't see anything really. And now you can, because it makes the viewing angles worse. So you still see everything, but others don't. And you can disable it at any time, and it stops working. So that is perfect. That is a really cool feature. Now you can enable it from here, from the control center. We'll get later to the customization of the control center, so it'll be in a different part of the video. Now let's go to settings to actually adjust it here. Now there is going to be display and privacy display. Now you can set different conditions for turning it on. You can just turn it on like so, or set conditions. They can be set for notification pop-ups, which means that when you get a notification, only the notification will be privatized and the other stuff will be normal. I'll show you that in a moment. Then pin pattern or password. So when you're entering your password to the phone, it'll do that. And you can also customize apps, which will show it. Now, since I told you about the notification, let's receive a notification right here. Like for example, I'll just send an SMS message. Hey. And as you can see from the side, you cannot see it. Okay, sorry. I will maybe disable the auto rotation because that demonstration was purely bad. Now, as you can see from the side, you cannot see the notification. That is really cool. Now it's time to see the lock screen. As you can see on the lock screen, everything's okay. But when I swipe up to enter the pattern, you can see it enables that privacy display mode. And that is it about the feature. Now let's get to another top feature, which is on the whole S26 lineup. Whole Samsung Galaxy S26 lineup, but on this phone, on the Ultra, it works the best because it has the best sensors. This is going to be the best video stabilization ever because it works like the action cameras, which means it keeps the horizon straight no matter how you turn your phone. When you go to the camera, you can go to video. Now, when you click right here, you can set the super steady with horizontal lock. As I rotate my phone, you can see it does not rotate the horizon. Now, I will record a short video to demonstrate that better. So let's start recording it and let's start rotating my phone. You can see nothing rotates here. the horizon is locked. Now, as I view the video, as you can see, I was rotating the phone here, but it doesn't look like it. The horizon is always straight. Now it's time for another part of this video, which is Galaxy AI, which is also pretty loud, has been pretty loud for at least 2 past generations, but in this generation we got 2 big new features, although we did get a few more, but I'll just show you the most interesting ones. So let's get it to the first one, which is going to be moving and deleting objects and photos. Okay, so now it is time for moving and deleting objects with Samsung Galaxy AI. So let's do it. Why not? Hold on a second. I'll just turn the brightness a little bit down so you can see everything a little bit better. And now, as I go into the Galaxy AI editing button, I can now select the AI eraser to remove objects. So maybe let's remove the iPhone box. Well, maybe let's remove the finger as well, because we don't really want it here. And let's erase it. Now it'll start filling the image, and we will see how it goes, because AI doesn't really work well with fingers, but here it did go actually quite okay. It did add a ring, but it did go okay. Now let's keep editing it, and let's go to move. Now let's draw around something that we want to move. Let's move the Google Pixel box. Sorry, let's click on it. Whatever happened here? Okay, when I tapped, it just started that. So let's now move it. Let's place it somewhere here and tap generate. Let's see how it goes, and we'll get to another part. So it did move it. Now it's time to save it. And it's time to do sketch to image. So let's go to this picture, and sketch to image is a function that has already been there as well for a little moment. We can just take the pencil and start drawing. Of course, we can change colors, so I'll just draw something. I've drawn a football ball, if you can't recognize it. Let's hope Galaxy AI does recognize it here. So that is going to be my football ball. And, well, it does look like a football ball, I think. Let's try generating another one. Let's see if it goes better. And this is another try, and it's okay as well. So yeah, as you can see, it works. Now another feature is text to image, which is a new feature recently added. So I'll do keep editing, and I'll just describe what to change. That is another new thing. You can also add an image to it, which is fun. Let's add this one. Let's click on done, and let's say put him on the left side of the bike. And as you can see, he's added. So now we have this picture. Of course, if the picture was taken from a different angle, it would look better here. But, well, we do have it. We could generate one more, of course. This one actually went a little weird because it put him behind the bike, but it's okay, I think, as well. So, yeah. Now, one more thing I need to try. Honestly, I haven't tried it yet, which is more sunny weather. Let's change the weather here. Let's see how it goes with that. I've never tried it, honestly. So I hope it goes great. And as you can see, it did that. And now, as I showed the previous one, this is the previous, and this is the current image. So it did change it a lot. Not very much, but just enough so you can actually see like it was the sun. On the face, it actually did add some sun as well, so that's cool. And now let's go to another feature, shall we? The next feature is going to be in the in many different places, but mostly things like messages and stuff like that. It is going to be called Now Nudge. It's a new Galaxy AI feature that recognizes the context from messages, emails, I think, as well, and stuff like that, to suggest actions. So let's receive a message and let's see how it suggests actions. For example, I will now receive an SMS message, and when I tap on the text message field, I should soon see something. Well, I didn't. Let's try it again. It does work pretty well though. Let's try it again because, well, okay, I got an SMS message now. Let's now tap on the field and I should soon see the Now Nudge. Oh, well, I don't. So let's maybe try something else because I did do that in a different video on the channel and it worked. So let's just do something else. Okay, now let's see if it works here. Hold on a second. For some reason, the feature doesn't work for now, so we'll just get to that later. But it does suggest actions based on context, so it should give me an option to like go to a gallery app. It should display it here. And then I would go into the gallery app and it will also like show me in the gallery app, it will show me pictures of people. So that's great. And also, like, if I got suggested a meeting, it would give me an option to automatically add it to the calendar, which is great. Now it's time to go. It's time to go to another part of the Galaxy AI, which is going to be in the Galaxy AI section in settings, which lets you process things only on device. Now, when you enable that, it will not use the cloud. It will not send any data to the cloud, and everything will be processed on device. Of course, if you go into that, you can see that there's less options available here. You can see with on-device processing, writing assist lacks the summarize and organize option. Note assist lack a little, and some other stuff as well, but that gives you more privacy, so it's just up to you. Another part is going to be AI Select, which is a part of the bar here, which you can enable. I'll show you that in a moment. And you can select AI Select. Now, at any time, just select a part of the screen, and what you can do, and it'll suggest what you can do with it. You can read text from it. You can do photo assist, which lets you later further edit it, which is also great. Also, it can help me create a GIF if I want. Now, if there was something moving, I could just like simply start recording it. Of course, there's nothing moving here, but if it was a YouTube video, I could turn it into a GIF or a video that someone has sent me. So yeah, this is a feature as well. Whenever you just see something and want to do something with it, like, I don't know, translate it, you can do it. And it gives you many different options. You can also always save it, share it, copy it, or whatever. It's useful when, for example, reading the news and if you want to like copy something, whatever. Now, another part is drawing assist. Drawing Assist, Creative Studio. That's what I wanted to show you. Now, that is a really cool feature, but before I get into that, I will need to enable process data only on device to have more features here. And let's get to For example, creating a greeting card. Now you can describe what you want to create or draw it. So I'll both describe it and draw it and get back to you. Okay, I have selected soft illustration theme because you can change the theme here. As you can see, I've also drawn a birthday cake, and I also have written it here to make sure it recognizes it right. And as you can see, it's done it. You can't really see the colors on camera well, but it is a little more colorful than it looks on camera, to be honest. So you might notice it. It has a few colors, and yeah, I think it's great. Let's now save it. You can save it in gallery as a sticker or as a wallpaper. I will just do gallery. You can also click here to put text on it. I've just decided to draw on it with my S Pen and to write happy birthday by hand, and that's how it looks. So I think it goes pretty well. Now it's time for another part, which is going to be audio eraser, which is also a really cool feature because it can turn your voice recordings into more studio quality recordings. To do it, start recording something in the audio recorder app. Now, as I start saying something, I can make some noise, of course. I can make a little more noise as well, and as I start making that noise, it will of course record all of it, but later on, as you can see, if I pause it, if I finish it and save it, now when I go into it, you can hear something. I can make some noise, of course. There is some noise, of course. Now, when I go into the okay, it's here, sorry. Into the erasing noise option, it will start erasing it. Now, I can now start listening to it. Now, as I start saying something, I can make some noise, of course. I can make a little more noise as well, and so as you can hear, as I start making, it does cut out most of the noise, which is great, and yeah, that is basically the first thing, and also, like, during recording, I believe that you can actually change them, or no, sorry, you probably can't. Yeah, never mind then. So yeah, you can just erase noise after it's recorded. Last thing in the Galaxy AI section is going to be interpreter, because your phone can translate stuff live, which means when you say something, it will immediately translate it, which is great, and you can make a conversation with someone that way. So let's go to the I think it was here, actually, which may sound a little weird, but yeah, here's the interpreter. As I said earlier, I think I did say it, the control center, we will be customizing it later, so stay tuned. Now, I will select a language, English, and let's do Polish, because I can speak Polish. I'll say something. By the way, you can also rotate it here, so you can see one person sees it from one side and the other one sees it from another side. Now, let's say something. Nie zapomnij o pozostawieniu łapki w górę oraz subskrypcji. Okay, like, it did say it weird, but yeah, it does translate it live, as you can see, which is really fun. Now, going back out of it, let's go to another section, which is photography and video. When we go to the camera app, we can take full resolution shots, because our phone, this phone, has a very, very large camera, 200 megapixels, which means it can make really high quality photos. But typically it takes them in 12 megapixels, because when you don't zoom in too far, it doesn't really matter. But if you want to take a picture of something big but very detailed, then you may want to switch to 200 megapixel. You can see now you cannot zoom in, but you can take the photo and later on zoom in really, really far in order to see all the detail there. Now I've taken a picture, and well, in that sort of situation here, you won't see much difference, but later on you can just zoom in after taking the photo. And here, in 12 megapixels, it takes less storage, that's why it's always on. And also, you can zoom in while taking the picture, which you cannot do if you have 200 megapixel shot enabled. Now another part is going to be more in Pro Video and Pro Photo. I'll show you Pro Photo. These modes let you adjust the ISO, the shutter speed, the exposure, the focus, and the white balance manually, so you can take shots exactly as you want them. Of course, if you're not experienced with it, it may seem difficult at first. There are videos on Pro Photo mode on any phone on our channel. Not on all phones, but on just any phone. If you look it up on our channel, I do explain it a little bit more in detail, how to use the ISO, how to use the shutter speed, how to adjust them, which one is more important, the ISO or the shutter speed, which one to adjust better, which one to set lower, which one to set higher. The white balance, why would you change it, and should you change it, and everything. Should it be on manual? When should it be on auto? I do explain that in other videos. I don't really know if on Samsung phones, maybe on Samsung phones, I'm not sure, but I do explain it on like Google Pixel 10, I think, so you can watch that. Yeah, there's also focus, so you can manually adjust how far the focus is, and you can see it marks it in green, and I'll show you that now. So you can see now now here it's out of focus, right? When I adjust the focus, now it is in focus, and now it's not anymore. So that's how out of focus, how manual focus works. That's how you adjust it. And now it's time for another part of the photo and video. And this is going to be motion photo. When you click on this button right here and enable it, now when you take a photo, and let's say something was moving, like, I don't know, someone was running and you took a photo of them, later on you can actually view the motion photo, which means the photo will start moving for a little moment, and then it will go back to its previous part. Now, another thing is turning videos into slow motion. So as you can see, there's a video that I have, and if I wanted to turn it into a slow motion, I can just press and hold at any time. Now it starts being slow-mo. Then I can just click on Save Slow-Mo Clip. And as you can see, now it's my slow-mo clip, which is slowed down. And it's also AI feature, because it also uses AI to fill in the missing frames to make the video as smooth as possible. Now it's time for multitasking and productivity section, which is going to be, first of all, the split screen, of course. Split screen is quite a known feature, and it's really, really great for productivity, because you can go into like any app whatsoever, click on the top of it, open in split screen view, and now select another app that you want to use on the bottom of your screen. I've opened a calculator. Now I can resize them also, of course. And now Let's say someone sent me a picture of like a few bills and I need to count them. Let's count them then. Let's do whatever. And then let's maybe do the equals divided by 3. And now I know that. And now, as we're getting into that, when it goes to productivity, your calculator can really improve your productivity. So let's go into the calculator. Now, here, there will be the unit converter, and you can go to tip. That is really cool because you can enter your subtotal. Like when you're at a restaurant, at a bar, wherever, you can enter your subtotal. Let's say my subtotal is 55. Then the tip, you can change the tip percent. Let's say 20% tip. And then how many people, if you're splitting the bill. Let's say I want to split it to 3 people, and you can see it shows me exactly that the total is 66, and it's 22 per person. That is really, really cool. Now, going back to window management, we can also do pop-up windows, and it's also convenient for calculator, but also for any other app. When you click on top of it, you can open it in pop-up view. You can of course resize it. You can even like make it really, really just hidden. When you click on it, it goes back to its normal view. Then you can resize it again to like make it small, just floating somewhere here. And then click on it again to like count something, right? So I can just use it here, and let's go back here. Let's clear it. Let's do something. So that is really convenient. And you can also enlarge it. You can go to split screen, minimize it into that, or close it. Then, as I showed you later, this part, you can see it has the interpreter, the Creative Studio, Now Breathe, AI Select, and also your favorite apps, and also gives you access to all the other apps. So even if you're within some app, you can very easily open other app, which is great. And it's also great when it comes to opening split screen, because that way you can just take notes and drop them somewhere. And now you have both apps open at once very simply. To do all of that, go to Settings and enable Side Panels. In Display Settings, go to Edge Panels. Sorry, that's Edge Panels. Now, change the panel. You can have multiple panels and just switch between them. Now you can see I have multiple panels here. But I'll just do the first one. I can edit it. I can enable or disable the Galaxy AI features, and I can add apps. I have added a few apps now, and now as you can see, I have it here. I could now open Facebook just like that. Now it's time for the next part, which is calculator pop-up after copying something. Let's say I receive a message with something. Okay, now I will receive a message. Let's copy it here. Can we select? Oh, we don't need to. We can copy the whole message, because now when we go into the calculator, we can just click here and it pastes just the mathematical stuff from the whole copied message, and it counts that. Now it's time for typing your email, typing your phone number, typing something you type like every time the same way, like a phrase and a sentence, a welcoming sentence, whatever. You can make it more convenient and faster. To do it, go to the settings, then go to the option which is general management, now keyboard, and go into Samsung keyboard settings. Now you will find the text shortcuts and add a shortcut. Now first write a shortcut, so a short phrase like let's do something like that. I'll say that's welcoming phrase for work. Hi, how could I help you? Now once it's added, let's go anywhere and let's just type in welcoming phrase for work. And I can replace it just like that and send it. So easy, so quick, and so convenient. Now came the time to see one of the best, the most fun sections of the video, which is customization. Customization gives you many different options. So first let's go to wallpapers, of course, because there's something hidden in them as far as I believe. When we go to wallpaper and style, you can click on change wallpapers and now create with AI and select weather. That is so cool because you can start it. Let's agree to use the local weather. Okay, let's do precise location. And now let's select a photo that you'd like to put on your wallpaper and adjust to the weather. So let's do this photo for an example. And then as you can see, it changes it to the weather. So that is so cool. It's starting a weather effect. And as you can see now, it's doing snow. It's not snowing outside. It's just a preview for now. You can see it does the rain as well. So that is really cool. You can also change a lot of things here in the wallpaper because you can change the size of the clock. You can change its location, which I didn't know about until like a year ago, even though that option has been there for a pretty long time. So you may not know that about that as well. You can also add like widgets here, which is fun thing. And you can change these shortcuts, which is also pretty nifty. Now let's click on done, and as you can see now on my lock screen there's gonna be the weather. Although there's not much weather right now, it's just like nothing's happening outdoors, to be honest. But if it was raining, I would see rain here. So that's really cool. It lets you know instantly what weather it is right now. Now it's time for lock screen customization, because not only can you do what we can do here, which I've already shown you, but you can also do suggest. It'll suggest you to what to put on your wallpaper, what to change with your wallpaper. You can do it like so, like so. You can see there's many different possibilities, or you can do that yourself by framing your photos. You can see I can do a frame out of it. So let's do this one. Let's do it like so. And we can change the color. Now it's time to get to the clock, because you can also here change the thickness of the clock, the color, or the font itself as well as the style. You can enable the weather information as well and showing date above or below the clock. I will do that above the clock, and I will make the clock a little bit larger. That way it looks pretty decent. Or I'll make it even larger, like so. Now let's click on done. And let's go back into it. We can also add an effect here, like blur, blurred background, grayscale background, custom background color, which we can do here, which is also pretty nice. Darker background, which I'll do and apply it. Now it's time for changing other things in customization, including the folder colors. You may not know that, but you can change the colors of your folders. When you press and hold on them, then click on settings, you can change it. You can, for example, set the color to, let's say, red, change the opacity, or if you want, you can make your folder transparent, like so. Now when you save it, you can see this is what it looks like. Pretty cool. Then when you want to make your folder even cooler, let's place it here for now. I can tap on enlarge or shrink. Enlarging the folder lets me organize it like that. So now those first 8 apps, you can just open them by clicking on them without going into the folder. Now the rest, you just click on the last button in the folder. Now, this is where getting it all transparent makes it really cool, because now you can also do settings. You can probably delete the folder name. Yeah, you can. And now, as you can see, this is my screen. It's reorganized now. And it makes it really cool. Now, another thing is that you can fit even more on your screen by pressing and holding on it, going to settings, and, not changing the app size, changing the home screen grid. It's by default set to 4x6, which means there's going to be 4 apps in a row. When I set it to 5x6, I could fit even more apps, which lets me fit the store app even here. And that's how you can organize your whole screen to make it more personalized and more convenient to use. It's also time that we see the widget stacks, because widgets, we all, maybe not all, but many people love widgets. And widgets are very useful. Although widgets, if you use them a lot, they can take up a lot of space. What you can do about it is add more widgets on top of each other. After pressing and holding on the home screen, tap on widgets. Now select add a widget of add multiple widgets of the same size. This is important that you have widgets of the same size. So I'll maybe do something like the calendar with my countdown, right, to my birthday, countdown to my birthday. Now, instead of putting it somewhere here, just move it on top of your other widget of the same size. Now, as you can see, I can swipe between them. So now I can see my weather. Now I can see the countdown. Let's tap to enable it. Allow. Let's do start. And now let's select an event. Let's do like party on April 18th. You can do generated image, for example, and let's do party. Okay, we have a little party here, although I will go back and make it again. I've changed the style. It of course uses the Creative Studio. Okay, this is cool. Let's click on done. And now let's click on save. Now, as you can see, the font isn't really visible here, but it doesn't matter. You could customize it further to make it look better. As you can see, I have the countdown, I have everything, and now it's time for making your alarms and calls more personalized by changing the backgrounds of your alarms. As we've already personalized the lock screen, it's time to now personalize the alarm. To do it, go to the clock app. Now select the alarm that you'd like to personalize. Now scroll down and you'll find alarm background. Then you can change the background here. You can change it to something from your gallery, of course, or change it to the featured ones. You can do weather, current weather, or like some videos, whatever, or the gallery. I'll do weather. You can change the clock by, probably resizing it if it lets me do it. No, I probably can't resize it. Okay, it doesn't matter. I can change the clock. I can, probably that's all I can do here. So let's click on done. Now I will set the alarm to something that's like soon going to happen. Let's save it and enable it. And sorry, let's set it to Saturday as well. It's Saturday right now. Now in 15 minutes it should go off. Okay, it'll be going off now. And as you can see, I can see the weather, I can see everything. I can close it, and that's it. So that was really, really cool. And it's time to go to call backgrounds, because you can also customize backgrounds for your calls. To do it, just go to Contacts, select any contact. Let's go into that. And now we can edit it. We can change the profile card. Set it to maybe a gallery photo or a sticker. I'll actually do Creative Studio. Let's create a profile card, and now I'll describe it. Okay, I have generated it based on my own picture. Let's click on done now, and yeah, we can set it here. As you can see, we can adjust it. We can add text. Change the style of the text. Which is also pretty cool. Yeah, let's do it like so. And we can add effects, of course, to blur the background, to grayscale background, colors, ink, that is cool, pastel, or oil paint in the background, of course. So I'll do pastel. Apply, and yeah, I'll do that for now. Let's do done. Let's save. And yeah, it's time for another part, which is going to be changing the color palette of your whole system. So if you can notice, there's not much color right now on my system, but when I go to wallpaper and style, then color palette, you can see there's just a few colors here, right? If I enable it, now the colors are going to change. I can do based off my wallpaper or basic colors, which are available here. I'll set these. They're gonna be pretty like earthy, groundy colors with a little splash of green. And yeah, now my phone's more colorful, more color, and that is cool. I do like it a lot. It's time to see some themes now. As we're customizing the colors of the whole system, why not customize the whole system even more? To do that, you can go to your settings and you should be able to find themes. That is going to open Galaxy Themes application. I will need to update it before I open it first, so let's wait a little moment. And now, as I go into themes, I will be able to find many, many different themes. Let's go to, you can find themes, which is going to customize a lot of things. Wallpapers, which is just going to set a wallpaper for you. Icons, which is going to change your icons. And AOD, which is always on display. Now, I will select themes to customize everything. And you can see some of them are paid. There are also some free ones. I'll go to top and I'll select free, but feel free to select the paid ones as well if you want. Now let's make it something cool. And it's going to be, let's say, this one. I do like this one. I've seen it multiple times already, and I like it a lot. So you can see it is going to change quite a lot here. It's going to change my wallpaper. It's going to change my messages app. It's going to also change my whatever this is. Probably like notes or not. I'm not sure. Never mind. It's going to change wallpapers, icons, whatever. Let's download it. Now, as it's downloaded, I can apply it. And as it's applied, as you can see, it even changed the buttons on the very bottom. By the way, we'll get to the buttons on the very bottom as well later. Actually, there is going to be even 2 times I'm going to be mentioning them in different meanings. So, as you can see now, I have it customized. It looks pretty cool. Some of the icons aren't changed, unfortunately, because some themes change more buttons, some less, because it depends on whether the buttons were actually created by the person. Sorry, the icons, whether they were actually customized or not. But yeah, it looks really cool. And as I said, it's changing lots of things on your phone. Well, it didn't change messages, but it did change messages in the past, so I think it's just that it doesn't do that anymore, but it used to. Probably it did that a little bit better when there was Samsung messages and not Google messages. Makes sense, I guess. Okay, now it's time to revert it to the previous state in case you want to go back, because you may not know how to do it. Just go to menu in the Galaxy themes that you can open through settings, of course. Then My Stuff, go to themes, select default and apply. And it's going to apply that, but it'll probably erase my wallpaper, my previous wallpaper. So we'll see it. Yeah, it does. So that is pretty unfortunate, but if you still have the photo, you can customize it again. Okay, now it's time to customize the Google search widget, because that's what you can also do. Go to Google, then click on your profile in top right corner, and go to settings. Now you can find customize search widget. You can change the theme to light, dark, device, which is going to change the colors to match the device's system colors, or basically the wallpaper, or custom. And in custom you can change your own color and saturation as well, of course. Let's set it to something like that. You can change the transparency to make it more or less transparent. And yeah, you can add a shortcut, like you can do translation, you can do weather, or AI mode, or none. So that is great. I'll do weather, I'll do translation. I do use Google Translate a lot. So yeah, that is it. It's changed now. Now it's time for changing our control center, which I've mentioned we will be customizing it. And since this phone comes with One UI 8.5, it gives you lots of customization options compared to previous versions. When you slide down from the right top part of your screen, then you can click on this edit button, and now you can edit everything here. Literally. You can change the size of buttons here, which is really cool. You can remove some buttons if you don't need them. You can add buttons by simply selecting them from the menu here. Like let's add something. Wireless power sharing, why not? That's probably wireless power sharing. I think so. You can add those controls into the expandable area by simply dragging them. If you don't need them here to be able to add them, to click them that easily, if you don't want them to take up space, you can put them into the expandable area. Now I will expand this one, and I will expand this button. You can change your music player size. Of course, it's going to change the artwork size while you play some music, which is also great. I do like looking at the artworks of my music, so I do like it a little larger. Then you can resize these bars, which was never available on Samsung, and now, yeah, you can resize it. Not only that, you can make them vertical, which is so cool. Now, let's make this one a little longer. Now let's put this here. Okay, I've customized it a little bit, And then you can click on edit here to edit the expandable area to remove something or rearrange it here. Now let's click on panel settings because there's another thing that you can do, which is separate or together. Together is going to make the panel a little bit different, because as you can see now, when I slide down, no matter whether from the left or the right side of the screen, it always shows me 6 quick controls and the brightness control. And when I slide down again, it opens the full control center. Now when I edit it, I can edit it again. But yeah, this is how it works. And it's just making everything really, really much easier. If you prefer that, you can use it. I do actually prefer the separate one. So let's go to Edit, Panel Settings, and Separate. And I'll just add the quick panel on the left side, which means I can now slide down. Oh yeah, okay. Now that's how it works. I've never tried it, so okay. It just changes the side on which the panel is. So I'll leave it like that. And another thing is that you can reset the quick panel layout if you've changed too much and want to go back to the previous state. Another section is incoming, and that's going to be display and interface. Let's go to the settings, because we can change quite a lot of things here. Let's go to lock screen and AOD. Then enable always on display and click on it. Now you can set it up. When I can enable or disable showing the lock screen wallpaper. I'll show you how it works if you don't understand it yet. You can customize it here. You can select when to show, and I like it to be set for always or auto if I'm using it actually, but you can also set it to tap to show. I'll leave it on tap to show for now. And now you can see when I lock my screen and tap on it just once, it just shows me the clock real quick. When I double tap, of course, it shows me the whole display, it enables it, and it all works. Now when I set it to always, let's say, it will always display that. Of course, it is going to use a little bit more power, not that much though. Yeah, the auto one is pretty good, because if you're sleeping or if you're in a really dark area, it's just going to turn the screen off. But in other cases, it's going to leave it on. I do like it a lot. It's a feature that's been there for a pretty good amount of time. Yeah, I'll leave it on auto maybe. Now it's time for screen resolution, because you can actually adjust the screen resolution once you go to display. When you go to display, you will find the screen resolution, and you can see by default your phone is not fully utilizing the resolution. Why is it doing that? Because it's saving the battery. The higher the resolution is, the more battery is being used. But if you want a better resolution, you can set it here and tap on apply. Now the resolution is going to improve. If you don't see any difference, or if you don't care about the difference, you can switch back to a lower mode. But if you do care about it, and if you want a better resolution, that's how you do it. And you can save the battery even more by setting to HD+. That is going to visibly degrade. The resolution is going to be visibly degraded, but it's going to save your battery. Now, another thing here is going to be Eye Comfort Shield, which gives your eyes more comfort when reading something on the phone, looking at something on the phone, because it's making the colors warmer. And it is scientifically proven that warmer colors work better on the eyes, and the eyes feel less strained after looking at warmer colors. So when I enable it, you can see it does turn a little bit warmer, it is adjusting the screen's color based on the time of day. So the later it is, it's going to turn the screen warmer. Now, you can set it to custom as well and set a schedule to always on, sunset to sunrise, or custom hours. On my own personal phone, I have it always set from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. because that's typically when I'm like, getting ready to sleep. After 10 p.m. So, that's when I'm getting ready to sleep. And also if I wake up and want to check something on the phone, it's warm, right? The colors are warm. So, I'll leave it on always on, and you can see the color temperature can be manually adjusted in this mode, in the custom mode. And you can set it to whatever. You can even set it to that. And that does make it really comfortable. It looks weird, but it's really comfortable. Now, I'll leave it on adaptive. You can also enable enhanced comfort, which is adjusting the color tones and contrast. You can do that. I'll leave it on adaptive here. And you can also enable the adaptive color tone, which is going to use your camera sensor in order to adjust the color and white balance based on the ambient lighting conditions, so the colors are more natural, depending on the environment you're in. It's now time to see the high contrast fonts, because your screen can make your fonts higher contrast, which makes it easier to see. To do it, go to accessibility. That's going to be in accessibility. Then vision enhancements, and you can enable high contrast fonts. Now, you may notice that when there's text, black text on gray background, it's going to do a white background in order to give you higher contrast of the font. It's giving you better quality and stuff like that. That is pretty cool. You can also change the display mode to high contrast. That is going to make the letters even more visible. I'm gonna go back to default. You can also enlarge your display to make everything larger, but you can change it even more. I think we will be getting to that later. Or if not, I'll try to remember to show you that. So, I'll leave it on default now. So you can do that. You can also do high contrast keyboard to make it more visible, like so. You can change it to different modes here. So if you have problems seeing your keyboard, that is going to help you for sure. I will disable that for now. And you can also highlight buttons a little bit more. You can invert colors. There's lots of things to do. Now it's time for the extra brightness. Extra brightness gives you even higher brightness, of course, than it's typically possible. To do it, go to display, and you can see I've turned the brightness all the way up. It is pretty light, but when I disable adaptive brightness, I can enable extra brightness. Now you can see how it gets even brighter. It is so bright right now that when I'm looking in person on the phone, it does look really, really light. So I'll disable it. I'll go back to adaptive brightness probably. And it's time to go to dimming strobing, because when there's strobing on your phone, if you're, let's say, watching a YouTube video and there's strobing, and, well, you may have some problems with that, then you can simply dim it. So your phone will automatically turn those colors into more like flat and less strobing. Okay, so dim strobing, right? We were going to do that. And it's going to be in accessibility, of course. Go to vision enhancements and find dim strobing. When you enable it, strobing effects will be dimmed, which will make it less straining to the eyes and to the brain. And now it's time for another feature that we have, which is flashlight brightness control. It's been a feature for a really long time on many phones, but I think it is quite recent on Samsung phones. So when you slide down from the right top part of your screen to open the control center, now when you press and hold on the flashlight, you can now enable it and change the brightness. This is the lowest brightness, and this is the highest brightness. You can see how it changes. So that is great because, if you don't need that much brightness, if you're, let's say, trying to just like turn on the flashlight to see something at night at home, but you don't want to wake up fully because of the bright light, or you don't want to wake the other person up, then you can use the lower brightness, and if you need to see something better, you can enable the higher brightness. Now, battery percentage here is now getting a little different than it used to be. Currently, it has different, it works differently than it used to. And I'll show you that when you go to battery. You can go to, is it in battery? Is it? I don't think so. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. It's changed its location in settings. You can go to notifications now, and then go to status bar and enable show battery background. In the past, you could change whether you have the percentage displayed or not. If you didn't have percentage displayed, you would only have this little tablet shaped icon that would have the background colored in 75% if it was 75%. Now, though, you can disable the background to show only the percentage or enable the background. So that is more of an accessibility feature, I think, because now it's just more visible, easier to read than this. So, yeah, that's what you can do. I'll leave it on without background. Now it's time for navigation bar settings, because on the bottom we have the navigation bar, and this is the thing I told you before. We will be getting to that, and we are getting to that now. So let's go to display, and then go to the navigation bar. You can set it to buttons, of course, which means this is the recents button. It opens the recently opened applications. You can slide between them and select an application that you would like to use. You can click on this button to go to home, of course. And you can click on this one to go back whenever you want. You can change their location, rearrange them basically, like so. Now, you can see the back button is on the left. But if you want, you can set it to swipe gestures. Now you have this bar, and when you slide up, you go to home. When you slide up and hold, you go to recents. And if you want to go back, just slide from the left towards the center or from the right towards the center of the screen. So, sorry, I have something set up here, so it won't work here. It's just turning my privacy display on and or off, but we'll get to that feature as well, because that is pretty cool. Although, yeah, it should technically, in not a normal scenario, it should work from either side towards the center to go back. Now, in more options, you can change the gesture sensitivity and block gestures with S Pen. Now it's time to circle to search. You can enable or disable that. So whenever you press and hold on either the bar on the bottom. Sorry, I need to enable it first. Now when I press and hold, it enables circle to search. When I circle something, it starts looking for it on the internet. As you can see, it's now found that. It tells me something about it. You can also see visual matches on Google, so it finds similar images. That's great, I think. And it also works with buttons when you press and hold on home. Which I could tell you, it's another feature, honestly. Now it is time for the gestures and controls. First of all, the side button gestures, because we can change that. Not only does we can set it to like turn it off on our phone, and when press and hold, by default, when press and held, it opens the Gemini Assistant, which is great. But you can go to advanced features, right? Then side button, and you can set the double press, enable it, and set it to whatever you want. Let's say privacy display. Now, when double pressing it, it enables the privacy display or disables it. You can also quick launch with Samsung Wallet, do flashlight, for example. There's so many things that you can do. And another thing is long press. You can set it to digital assistant, which is by default Google, but you could change it if you had more AI assistants. Or Bixby, which is now getting way smarter than it used to be, because Bixby used to be the AI assistant on Samsung phones that would disable from day one in the past, but now Bixby is actually getting really good, and you can use it now, and it may actually turn out to be better than Google Assistant for some tasks, because it also has more access to like built-in applications, and it can work with that, and it still does really good research. It does work well, way better than Siri, to be honest. Now also you can set it to power off menu, but even if it's not set to power off menu, if it's set to digital assistant, you can still access the power off menu by pressing and holding on power and volume down at the same time for a little moment. So yeah, that is it. Now it's time for Lift to Wake, which is a feature I just love. And it's going to be in motions and gestures when you enable it. When you turn your screen off and lift your phone, it wakes your phone and you can just unlock it and use it. That's so cool. I love this feature, but if you don't like it, you can disable it as well. Then double tap to turn on and turn off screen. I showed you that earlier when talking about always on display. When the screen is off, when I double tap, it turns the screen on. Then also it works on the home screen. If you are on the home screen, you can double tap on the free space, so where there's no apps, and that way you can lock the screen. Or also when you are on the lock screen, you can also double tap to lock the screen. So I think that is a cool feature. Then it's time to see all the screenshot methods, because you can do screenshots in many methods. I have it already enabled here. This is the palm swipe to capture, which means normally, screenshots are taken by pressing on power and volume down. You can see the screenshot. You can do a lot of things here. You can do scroll shot, which, well, here it won't work. But if I go here, I can now do a scroll shot. It'll start scrolling and making the screenshot longer. I can click on it again and again. And now, the full screenshot was taken. Let's see it. As you can see, this is my full screenshot, the whole page. That is so useful. Now, I could also edit it here, or do way more. I can crop it. I can draw on it with my S Pen, for example, and save it. Now, there's more options of taking a screenshot, not only with those two buttons, but also with a palm. When you swipe over your phone, on the screen, you need to actually touch the screen, because some people enable that feature and they try to go in the air. It doesn't work. You need to actually touch the screen, which makes the screen a little finger fingerish, so you may not like that. And let's see if there's any other options, because I don't really remember that well, but okay, that is not an option. And let's see if we can do that here, because that would also be possible in the past. Yeah, take screenshot. You can now, I'll put it in the expandable area, and I'll place it here. Done, done. And now I can just take a screenshot like so. Okay, now it's time for another part, which is one-handed mode, and it's especially good for a phone like this, which is quite big. This is not the smallest phone, and it may be really useful to actually use a one-handed mode, which is easy to enable once you go to once you make sure it's enabled in advanced features one-handed mode. Now you can set it to gesture or button. But I'll talk about those options in a moment. Let's talk about gestures now. When I slide down at the bottom of the screen, like so, it turns into one-handed mode. I can of course change the side to the left-handed or right-handed. I can resize it, and I can move it up or down, which I think is great. Now I can use my phone with one finger, like everything, literally. And when I tap on some free space, it's just done. So that is great. Then, if you have those buttons on the bottom, you can set it to button, and then double tap the home button to do it. Then I think that when you have in display in navigation bar, set it to swipe gestures. Then you can simply go to advanced features, and I think that there's only gesture available. So that is important to know, that there's only the gesture available. Now you also don't need to put the whole screen on one-handed to make it easier to type, because you can type with one hand by turning your keyboard into one-handed mode without needing to turn the whole screen into one-handed. To do that, just tap on three dots here and open one-handed keyboard. As you can see now, it is on one side, which makes it easier to type with them. Of course, you can also set it to another side or enlarge it. There's also an option to set the mode to floating keyboard. You can change the transparency, but I don't want any transparency. Although I think I could resize it. Sorry, I don't remember how to resize it. Let's try to go to standard keyboard, floating keyboard. No, I have no idea how to resize it, honestly, because I know I could. Okay, it doesn't matter. Yeah, so that is basically what you can do here. And then there's another part, which is flip to mute and cover to mute. When you go to your advanced features and motions and gestures, you can mute with gestures. When you enable that and someone calls you, let's do that. Why not? I'll just call myself in order to test the feature out, because I haven't been using it for quite a while. Okay, now I will be receiving a call, and when I flip the phone over, it mutes. It's still ringing, I mean it's still calling, but it's muted. Now I'll do that. Then I'll call again, and you can also do something that you do on a smartwatch, which is just put your palm over it, and now it's muted. I'll decline it as well. Now, another cool thing is that you can do partial screen recording if you just want to record a part of the screen, not the whole screen, by opening the video recording which I should have here. Yeah, there is screen recorder. And this is, I think, a new feature, which is partial screen. You can set it. Then you can also change which audio to record, whether non-media, so the audio your phone plays, or media and microphone. And you can also enable taps and touches. Now let's start recording, and let's select an area that you would like to record. So let's do it like that. You can very precisely do it because it shows you this circle which zooms in to make it as precise as you can. And then let's start recording. It'll start counting down. You can also skip the countdown if you want. And it starts recording. You can pause it or finish it like so. And it's done. Now it's time for the last part of the gestures and controls, which is going to be volume adjustment. If you've used an Android phone for a longer period of time, you probably know how to do it. But if you used to be an iPhone user, or if you're just not very experienced with phones, you may not know that when you press on volume down or volume up, you can click on these three dots to adjust different volumes. The system volume, which is going to be like taps in the system, or the volume like of the sound that is made when you plug your phone into charging. Then there's notifications, there's AI assistant, ringtone, and the media, which is going to be videos, music, and etc. Now it's time for audio and calls. In audio and calls, you can go to a call. So let's make a call. I'll actually go ahead and receive the call. This time I'll actually answer it. Let's answer it. And now, when you slide down from the top of your screen, you may not know that, but when you do that, you'll find mic mode. And you can set it to standard, which is just going to do standard voice recording, or voice focus. And that cuts out all the noises in the background. So if you're on a noisy street or in a club, wherever, it just cuts out the noise from the background to make your voice easier to hear. So that is cool. Now we have Galaxy AI here, and it also has text call, which allows you to... Okay. Now it works in Polish for some reason right now. But yeah, you can type. You can type, and that is a really good feature, especially accessibility feature, to be honest. But as you can see, when I say something, it does really say it out loud. It is in Polish, probably because it's like a Polish phone number right now, so that's probably why. But I'll try to like put the other phone to the mic. Yeah, and as you might have heard it, it does really say it out loud, which is great, and you can switch back to the normal mode to switch to voice call. Now, one more thing is live translate, which allows you to do it. Hold on, other person English and me Polish. So let's say oddzwonię później.
I'll call you back later.
And yeah, it does translate it, so that is cool. I'll disconnect now. This was calling. Now, going back to audio, when we go to settings, you will find the sounds and vibration. Then go to separate app sound, and you can turn it on. Now let's select an app that you would like to play on a different audio device. I'll explain it in a little moment. I'll just select YouTube. Now let's play it on Bluetooth device. And now that means that all audio from all the apps that I have on my phone will be played on my phone, but YouTube will be played on a Bluetooth device, let's say a speaker. And that is so cool because you can, for example, if I had Spotify here, let's do YouTube Music, or multiple ones, of course. Let's do YouTube Music. If I start playing music on YouTube Music and want to, like, I don't know, watch a video someone sent me on Instagram, or maybe listen to a voice message, or make a call, or do whatever, I can do that on my phone, and my phone will play the sound without interrupting the YouTube Music playing on the speaker. That is great if you're hosting a party and using your phone to broadcast music to the speaker, because you can still use your phone and not really stop the music and disconnect from the speaker just to listen to a 5-second long voice message. Now it's time for our LED notifications, because audio is not only hearing, but it's also, for some people, visibility stuff, because sometimes you cannot hear the audio that well, or you just have your phone in the bag or in a pocket, or there's many different reasons why you may want to see your notifications instead of hearing them. And what helps you with that is accessibility. In accessibility, if you go to hearing enhancements, you'll find flash notification. Now you can do screen flash notification, which I'll show you a preview. It'll flash your screen like that, but for notifications, you'll probably see a notification here at the top. I think what's the most important for me to show is the camera flash notification. You can set it for separate apps or just for all apps. And now I'll show you a preview. Whenever you get a notification, you will see some like this. It'll just flash twice. So even if your phone is in a position like this, you will see your notifications visually. That is so great. Now it's time for another part, which is connectivity and sharing. Let's go to Bluetooth, which is going to be in connections, then Bluetooth. And now when you click on 3 dots in top right corner and advanced settings, you can go to music share, and that way you can share your music. As you can see, you can let your nearby friends play music on your Bluetooth speaker, you just enable it. Then on the friend's phone, you go to the list of Bluetooth devices, and that friend will be able to connect to the speaker you are already connected to. But both phones need to have Wi-Fi and Bluetooth turned on while sharing. And then you can change the settings here. And then your friend can just connect their phone, play their favorite song without you needing to hand your phone over and for them to need to find it. You can just like arrange it so your friends all can like play whatever. That is so great. Now it's time for another part, which is going to be sharing Wi-Fi, because also if your friends come over, you're not obligated to remember your Wi-Fi password. I don't remember mine at home. So what I do is I click on the settings of the currently connected Wi-Fi and then click on the password here. Now I need to enter my pattern, and there's my password. I can just share it like that. Or if the password is more complex than this, you can go QR code. And then your friend can just scan the QR code, and it works even on iPhones. Then 3 dots in top right corner, in advanced settings and manage networks, if you would like to find the Wi-Fi password over a network you're not currently connected to. But then you can't do the QR code, so you just need to view the password and like give it to someone. Now it's time for Quick Share. Because Quick Share, you may know it, you may not. Quick Share is sharing your photos with someone, photos or files or anything with someone, like AirDrop on iPhones. But Quick Share typically works only on Android. On Samsung, though, it is different. I'll show you that in a moment. But first, let's try normal Quick Share. We just tap on Share right here, then tap on Quick Share, and you will see there's another phone nearby. I could just click on it, and yeah, it's my contact, so I could just share it to my contact, and that's it. You can also adjust its settings here, and cool. But if you want to share it to iPhone, it is typically impossible on other Android phones. You would need to arrange it differently with apps and everything, whatever. Here, you just click on QR code or link. Then the recipient scans the QR code, which, you know what, I'll scan the QR code. And as you can see, it is there. I can download it now. So yeah, that is really, really cool. Now, yeah, let's go to the other part, which lets you inspect your home Wi-Fi to know where it's the strongest. So if you're going to like broadcast video, you know where it's the strongest. Or if you can move your router, you can move it around and see when it's in best location for you to have best connection in the places you spend most time in. So let's go to settings. 3 dots in the right corner. Intelligent Wi-Fi. Now you'll need to open Connectivity Labs, but it's not there. Just tap on Intelligent Wi-Fi a few times. Now Connectivity Labs. Then go to Home Wi-Fi Inspection. By the way, in Connectivity Labs, there's so many options here. Before we get into that, you can, for example, enable something like, that would be in a Wi-Fi list settings. You can enable show band information. And now, I'll need to, for it to work, I'll need to disable it and enable it. Now you will see all the networks will now show me on which band they function. That is so cool. But now let's go to the Intelligent Wi-Fi Connectivity Labs and Home Wi-Fi Inspection. Let's click on Start. Select the Wi-Fi names. And next. Then next and Start. Now, as you move around, your phone will detect how good your Wi-Fi signal is, and it'll tell you when it's the best. The higher it goes on the graph, it's going to be better. And that way, you know in which location your phone works best with Wi-Fi, or in which location of your router your Wi-Fi works the best in the places you spend most time in. Now it's time for sharing contact QRs, because you can also share contacts with people by sharing the QR codes. Go to a contact that you would like to share, then tap on share. Right? Yeah, here. Click on the contact more QR code, and now you can do it. To be honest, I'm really curious whether or not I could add the contact on an iPhone. Let's do it. And yeah, I can. As you can see, it works on iPhones as well. Now it's time for another thing, which is dual messenger. If you have apps like Facebook or something, and for example you want to have two different accounts logged in at the same time, and you don't want to re-log in, sign in to one account and other. For example, if you have one work account and one private account, then you can easily do it by going to settings, then going to the advanced features, right, and dual messenger. When you enable it, I'll do it for Facebook, you can use a separate contacts list, which means it will not use contacts from your standard contacts list. I'll just use the regular. I don't care for it now. Now I have 2 Facebooks. There's one here and one here. And one of them is the standard Facebook. And the other one is also the standard Facebook, but with a different account logged in, so I can log into different ones. And that is really, really cool, because it makes your it gives you more options of like using apps like that, those like social media apps. Now it's time for security and privacy, and something similar to Dual Messenger is available with Secure Folder. And but it's even better because it also protects your privacy. When you go to settings and go to your security and privacy, then more security settings, you can, not secure Wi-Fi, secure folder. Click on more, and let's set it up, then I'll explain what it does. When I create it, it starts like configuring it, so it'll take a little moment. Then you can find PIN, password, pattern. You can set it. Let's set a PIN. I'll set it to something different than I typically would, because my pattern is like the L symbol. You might have noticed it earlier. I'll set it to PIN, and I'll do 1, 2, 3, 4. I know it's not really that like different, that hard to guess, but yeah, you know what I mean. It's just something different than your lock screen, if other people know your lock screen. Now, allow lock reset with Samsung account. You can enable or disable that. It's better to enable it when you're worried you may forget your PIN, password, pattern, because if you forget it, then you will not be able to access the data inside of the secure folder. But if someone else has access to your Samsung account, which probably if they have access to your phone, they probably do have access to that, then that may be a little unsecure. Then fingerprints. If you have fingerprint set, you could also use it, like add it separately, I think, for the secure folder, and it can be a different fingerprint than your normal one. So let's say I would, instead of my thumb, I could use my pinky finger. I'll just go out of that. Oh, sorry. Okay, next. Now, I can close all apps while locked. So apps in secure folder will be automatically closed when secure folder is locked. Or allow background activity. I'll close all while the folder is locked. And now you can see these apps are copies of the apps that I have here, which means here's my gallery. I have quite a few photos here. Now, if I want, I can go to the gallery here, and there's no photos. I can either use the camera here and take a picture of my cat. And then it's in gallery here, but it's not in this gallery. This is really cool for protecting your privacy, and not only in gallery, also in notes, in calendar, in browser, contacts, files, whatever. If you already have your picture in a normal gallery and want to move it to the private one, you simply click on 3 dots in top right corner, then move to secure folder. Now it's done. It's there. Now let's go to the secure folder back again, and you could add apps here. Let's say I'll add Facebook. Now I have another Facebook here, and it's with my Target secret account. Once I log in, of course. And no one has access to it. You might have noticed when I close the secure folder, I can still open it without putting in the screen lock. And that's because you can click on 3 dots and lock and exit. And now it is locked, and I need to enter the PIN or fingerprint in order to open it. I can hide apps, which means those secure folder apps will be hidden or not. You can see like Chrome is currently hidden for some reason here. Whatever. It doesn't matter for now. And you can hide the secure folder. When you hide it, when you hide it, it's not visible here anymore. And to unhide it, you will need to go to the control center and find secure folder, then enable it. So it's more hidden, harder to find. Now, when it comes to security and privacy, you can also hide apps from here. To do it, go to settings, go to, I think it was in home screen. Then hide apps on home and app screens. Then select an app, let's say the Facebook, done. And now this app is hidden. And it's, I think, great when you're using the secure folder, let's say, and you're using it to totally hide an app, like so no one knows you have that app on your phone. Let's say I don't want anyone ever to know that I have Google on my phone. Then, well, you can't see it here. It's not there anymore. But in my secure folder, it is going to be there once I add it here, of course. Although I've hidden it like totally, and let's add, and as you can see, it's here. But also, if the app is hidden, you might have noticed the Copilot was hidden. I can open it from here. No, I can't. Okay, never mind. Or maybe, no. Okay, it's like fully hidden. I would need to unhide it here. So that's even more privacy. Now you can also go to customize to customize the icon, or go to settings here to do other different things, which is, for example, automatic auto lock, and you can do that when screen turns off. So you can see my folder is now unlocked. When I turn off the screen and turn it on, it does ask me for the PIN. So that is great. Now, another part is going to be failed authentication lock. So when you go to settings and go to your security and privacy, so in security and privacy, lost device protection, theft protection, and failed authentication lock. Now, when you're trying to use a feature that requires authentication, let's say I want to actually open the secure folder, and I enter the wrong PIN. And again, and again, and again, and again, it doesn't work. Because it's a secure folder. Okay, never mind that. Let's try to use something like, let's say wallet requires authentication, of course. But let's try to, for example, go to the... You can see my phone is currently unlocked, right? That's what I mean. And then when I go here and enter the wrong pattern, oh, it does not work. Okay, never mind. Should be working. If I had like 3 failed attempts of authenticating something, my screen should just lock itself. So like it knows that someone's trying to access something, and it locks itself because the phone is currently unlocked. Now, it doesn't matter for now because we have quite a few more features to go through. There's lots of them. Yeah, there's also a theft detection lock, so you can go into that, turn it on, and now when the phone detects someone has took your phone and run away, it locks the screen. Then there's another part, which is auto blocker. Auto blocker is going to be here. And that blocks from unauthorized sources, commands by USB cable, and other stuff, which makes your phone more secure and less prone to like being hacked. So that is it. Then there's safety and emergency. Safety and emergency may be very useful in some situations. Let's hope not. Let's hope we don't need to use it. But it's always worth setting it up in case and knowing how to use it in case you ever need it. There's medical info, which when you set it up, it will be available on the phone. So I'll just do name, but you could do all the info. And now, when I lock the screen, and I think I need to just press and hold. No, let's press and hold like so. Power and volume down, then medical info, and I can access it. So whenever someone needs to use your phone when you cannot tell them your medical info for whatever reason, they can find it themselves. Now, emergency contacts can be added here, and then when you're doing an emergency call, they will be contacted. And then emergency SOS, which you can also change the emergency number to call, and send SOS to emergency contacts when you enable it. So that is a good feature, honestly. Now it's time for something happier, battery and performance. When you go to battery, when you go to battery, you will find that there is lots of things here. And you can do adaptive battery protection, which I think is a really, really cool, good feature. Now, it has a different name now. When you enable it, you set it to basic, then sleep time protection. And now your phone learns your charging habits and adjusts the patterns accordingly, which means that when it's enabled, and for example, if you go to sleep, then and you leave your phone plugged in, as most people do, it'll start charging to 80%, then pause charging and resume about an hour before you're expected to wake up and charge at a slow rate. So it hits 100% shortly before you're unplugging the phone. And what it gives you is it extends your battery longevity, which is like all we really want with our battery. Now, there's also wireless power sharing, which I've shown you earlier that there is a control here that you can add, but I don't have it anymore because I've reset it. You could click on that control or enable it here, and now when you put another phone on the back of your Samsung, it'll start charging. Well, if I find the right position, because both of these phones have huge camera bumps, and I'm not sure. Okay, it is ready to charge. Okay, that huge camera bump is probably one of the problems here. Can't get it to work, honestly. But, well, yeah, I can't get it to work, honestly, but it should be working. That huge camera bump is just okay, never mind. But it does work. You just put another phone on the back of your phone and it charges. So that is great. Then there's enabling fast charging. Sometimes fast charging may be disabled by default on your phone, and you may want to charge your phone a little bit faster than slow. That way you can just enable or disable fast charging. Disabling it may, it's not like it will, it may increase the longevity of the battery, but some people care more about the fast charging than the longevity, like I do, honestly. Like, it doesn't matter that much. Now, fast wireless charging can be also enabled, but this may produce heat on your phone, and if it's getting too hot, you may want to disable it. And now it's time for a light performance mode. If you go to, well, hold on a second. Where was it? Okay, never mind. Maybe it's not there anymore. So let's go to the power saving. Let's go to power saving, then enable it. And now power saving can be adjusted here. You can change the limit CPU speed to 70%. You can turn off always on display, decrease brightness, whatever, and that increases your battery life, like on a single charge, right? It's not a feature to be used always, but it's in some rare occasions where you need your battery to hold a little bit longer. You can use it like so. Then there's maximum, which limits all background activity and notifications except for essential apps. But I think I would need to. Okay, yeah, this is it. You can see most apps are locked. And that's how it works. I do not have access to most of them. You can also adjust it here to like enable some apps that you would like to, but besides that, it's just like a very, very simple kind of phone situation. I'm back after a while, and now let's go back to those features. So another part is going to be automation and smart features. So let's get into that. We can automate our our system to do tasks for us, to increase the speed of tasks, and to do some things automatically. And for that, modes and routines come very, very handy. When you go to settings and go to modes and routines, you will find modes, and those modes are basically like focus modes. So when you are sleeping, you can set it up here. And this is so cool because you can like when you can either turn it on manually here or find modes here, tap on them and enable sleep or whatever else you have configured, or you can set it to turn it on automatically on a schedule, for example, or on other options. You can set it to like avoid distractions by enabling do not disturb mode, and you can select whether none of the calls and messages are allowed, or maybe selected contacts, or maybe all contacts are allowed besides the one that you select here. Then you can also allow calls from contacts only, favorite contacts only, or none. Repeat callers, which means if someone calls you twice within 15 minutes, you will actually hear the message even if it's being silenced for the first time. And messages also, you can set it to all, contacts only, whatever. That is cool. App notifications, you can select apps that will send you notifications, or you can set it so all apps give you notifications besides the one that are added to the list. So that is cool. Then let's you can also restrict app usage and select apps that you want to restrict. You can change the appearance of the lock screen and home screen and add other actions like enabling dark mode, eye comfort shield. This is so cool. You can customize it a lot. But what I wanted to show you is routines. That is so cool because you can create a routine and you can do a trigger. So what activates the routine? And since this phone has the privacy display, which is a big feature, you can actually work around that. So for example, if we want our privacy to be enabled when we leave our house, we can select place, then select our location. It can be the current one, but you can set it to whatever else by just pressing and holding in a selected spot. You can add radius, so like when you leave your house and like plus 200 meters, and let's set it to when I leave. Then let's click on done. So if that condition is met, then you can go to, for example, the display and the privacy display. Now set it to on in that situation, and maximum privacy protection can be also enabled. I already explained it earlier when talking about the privacy display. Now you can see it is on, and now set actions. So means when the routine ends, so when you go back home, go back to that location, you can set actions to return to the status before run, and you can set it to that, so it'll just return to the previous state. Or for example, set custom action, and I'll set it to off, which means when I'm home, it'll always set the privacy display to off, and when I'm not home, it'll set it to on. That is great. Yeah, and now I can save it. Now it will enable itself automatically because I'm not in the set location currently. I will disable the routine for now, but this is how it works. I also have another one, which means when selected apps are open, then privacy displays on, and when the routine ends, it returns to the previous state. So it doesn't disable itself always, because if I had it enabled and go into the bank app, then leave it, it still leaves like enabled, right? So it makes a lot of sense. Now, speaking of routines, there's also Discover here, and you can actually get routines from here that are like available here. For example, weather routines, and you can do something like umbrella reminder, which is cool. Yeah, if selected alarm is dismissed, let's say this one. This is like the default one, but you can change you can edit it here. But let's say when selected alarm is dismissed, so when you have an alarm set for 7:40 p.m. Well, no one wakes up at those. Maybe someone does, but I don't. I don't wake up at 7:40 p.m. But if I had a different alarm, let's just do this one. So when I wake up and dismiss that alarm at 7:40 p.m., let's say, then it'll get the precipitation probability from the current location. Then if it's greater than or equal to 50%, it will read the text aloud. It may rain today. Take an umbrella if you go outside. And that is basically it. So that is like whole programming. It already starts looking like programming. You can get like really, really interesting things with that. You can also edit it and do like else action. So if it's greater, then it'll tell you that. Else, you can also do like read text aloud. There's a low chance of raining today, and you don't need to take an umbrella. Or you can do like even more switches to that. Let's save it, for example, and now if I dismiss that alarm for 7:40 p.m., it'll tell me that. So that's cool. Now, for automation and smart features, there's a big thing now, and this is going to take me some time, but it's worth getting into that. This is GoodLock. GoodLock is an app that you can install, and it lets you customize your phone's automation, smart features, and everything so much that I probably haven't discovered everything yet, and I've been playing with that app for quite a few years, I think, since I like discovered that app. So if you go to Samsung shop, sorry, not Samsung shop, Samsung store, Samsung store, then you will be able to go to apps, just to search and go to GoodLock. Now, when you download it, I already have it downloaded, you will be able to open it. And it has plugins that you can install on your phone in order to do more things that you already can. And those things are going to be, for example, Lockstar. Let's try to download that. I won't be doing much here because you can see there's so many apps that you can download here, and like each of these apps has so many options. So let's just get this one that I did. Let's open it. And now I'll turn off battery optimization for now because it asks me to do that. But of course I could like opt out of it and just leave that enabled. Okay, but let's do stickers. Okay, it requires theme park. I don't need it for now. Let's add text, and let's say like HardReset.info, of course. If I don't know what to say, I just do HardReset.info. Okay, let's click on OK. You can change the font, color, whatever. But yeah, there's so much. And now you can change the font size. You can rotate it. You can place wherever you really want it. Then you can click on this. Can you? Or can you not? whatever is happening now. Okay, let's click on done for now. Now lock star, and yeah, you can change the lock screen timeout. Lock icon here at the top, you can switch it to the heart. For example, unlock animation, you can set it to slide, expand, spread, wave, warp. I like it. You can change the animation time even, and the like whether it's easing in, easing out, linear. There's like so many things in just one of the apps available here. And it's so crazy that you can do so many things here. And now let's set it to that. Let's click on done. I won't be doing much more here because it's just so many things here. And yeah, as you can see now, when I unlock it, did it? It didn't. Oh, it did. Okay, you can see it. Wow, that is wild. Now, when you go to Navstart, you can, for example, change the buttons on the bottom to different ones. Let's say I want them set to these, but I can also click on advanced options, show and hide button. Now when I double tap on it, it hides my buttons on the bottom. When I slide up and double tap, it shows them again. Now I will disable that, but I will also click on new configuration, and I can change the that is right. Button layout, I can change it to right aligned, left aligned, like so, or I could add a button. And let's add a button like, I don't know. I have no idea. Camera. Why not? If you use camera a lot, that's gonna be useful. And screen capture. Okay, you can add up to 2. So maybe let's do volume down, volume up for whatever reason if you ever need it. And you can, of course, change their position. Then click on done here. Then you can go to icons and change these icons to whatever you want, even a photo from your gallery. I will crop the image. Now let's crop it to that. And now, when I save it, I have that photo down here. That is absolutely crazy. And now one more thing, I want to show you one hand operation. When I enable it, I can customize it. You can see I have these colorful ones. These colors aren't shown when you're out of the app, but to make it all easier, I'll just do the right handle here, and now I can do straight left, diagonal up, and diagonal down. When I do straight left, let's do privacy display. Diagonal up, let's do, well, flashlight, why not? And diagonal down, let's toggle mute, why not? Now you can also do more here, but let's slide it now. You can see my privacy display is off. Now when I slide it, it's on. Now when I slide it again, it's off. Now when I slide it up, my flashlight is on. When I slide it up again, it's off. When I slide it down like so, not that way, my phone is muted. That is absolutely crazy. And yeah, so that is that. That's the GoodLock, and I'm really excited to show you that. Now it's time for some other things. Our performance, battery, and maintenance, because who would I be if I didn't show you those tricks? So the first one is going to be speeding up the animations, because this phone is quite fast. But if you don't like the animations be taking so long, you may not care about it, but some people do. So that's why I want to show you how to speed up all those animations in the system to make it feel more snappy. If you go to settings and go to about phone, then software information, you can tap on build number 7 times, enter your screen lock, and now when you go back twice, you will find developer options at the very bottom. These are very complex, so if you don't understand something here, and you probably don't, because me neither, then don't change the things that you don't understand here. But as we scroll down a little bit here to animation scales, you can set them all to 0.5. Now your phone will feel way more snappy. You can see the animations are faster. Now, what I could also do is turn the animations off. Now, you can see everything happens without animations, and it just happens immediately. I do not like the animations off, so I will leave them on 0.5, and that's how it works. Now it's time for our DPI, because it's another thing that you can change in developer options. If you scroll down around the same area where it was, you'll find minimum width. Now, make sure you don't go too far, and first of all, remember what was the default here, because you may not be able to go back. So remember, write it down maybe, or if it's the same as here, just remember it's in this video. Now, if I change it to a higher value, you will notice that the elements on my screen are smaller. And for me, as a person with a fairly good vision, I do like it a lot because I like more elements on my screen. But you can also set it to a lower value, like let's say 320, and as you can see, the elements now are bigger on the screen, which makes it more visible. Now I'll leave it on 384, and it's back to the normal. So yeah, I could even go like crazy with it and like 700, and it displays like a tablet with that bar on the side. Okay, it's now showing different weird values, and that's like pretty normal. So I'll go back to the previous, and yeah, I went too far with it all. Hold on, I'll try to fix it. Okay, to easily fix it, go to display, in settings, then go to screen zoom and set it to like whatever value here, and it'll just switch itself to that. So great. Okay, now it's time for our device care, because sometimes there's something not working on your device. In that case, you can go to device care in settings and actually diagnose your device. To do it, go to diagnostics, and now it will begin the whole diagnostic thing. So it'll take me a moment. Okay, you can do phone diagnostics. Now it'll start checking the software, the battery status, the NFC status, whether it works, the SIM card, power restart status, mobile network, sensors as well. Take a little longer. Yeah, and it's diagnosing stuff. Later on, it'll also prompt me to do some stuff to like help it diagnose things. So let's do camera while using the app, and it's going to be checking if the camera works. It's going to enable the camera, the back cameras, the front camera, everything. And now, yeah, you can continue to do like interactive tests, like location accuracy. You can check the Wi-Fi. I'll skip it. You can connect to Bluetooth to see if it works. Proximity. Yeah, it worked. As you can see, press the volume up button, volume down button, side button to see if they work. The vibration, I'll skip that and skip everything. There's also a display test, so you can check if your display works properly in all regions, which means if you slide across your whole display, it'll fill in those squares, and if they are all filled in, it means your display works. But if there's some area that you've been trying to go over a few times and it doesn't recognize it, that means your digitizer in your phone may be non-functional, and yeah. Okay, now it's not doing anything. Whatever, I'll just skip this test. Skip, skip, and skip. And now it'll give me results of that. Yeah, so that is great. It helps us diagnose our problems with the device and later on seek further assistance. Then also, while we're in the device care, you may want to speed up your phone. This phone is like super speedy, but you may want to speed it up even more to declutter it and get rid of some processes in the background that are just using too much power. To do it, simply go to your settings, of course, the device care, then auto optimization, auto restart, and you can set it to restart when needed or restart on schedule. Restarting your phone can help keep it running in the best condition. And you can see these are the conditions for the restart. Let's do schedule, for example, like Monday and Friday at let's do 4 a.m. because it's okay for me, and now it'll just do that if the conditions here are met. And yeah, that is cool. Now, for optimizing our phone, we can also put some apps into deep sleeping mode, which means those apps will not refresh in the background. So if they are not being currently used, they will not use any power at all. Because apps do refresh in the background, they tend to do that. And some apps don't need to. I'll explain which need to and which don't in just a little moment. But first, let's go to battery and go to background usage limits. Then sleeping apps and deep sleeping apps. Sleeping apps will rarely refresh in the background, and the deep sleeping apps will never. Let's go to deep sleeping apps, and here you can put the apps that should be only active when opened. And now the apps that should have background activity, so shouldn't be put here, are the apps that you need notifications from. If it's, let's say, like WhatsApp, and you need notifications from it, then don't put it in deep sleeping apps, because then you will not receive notifications, because it will not be able to fetch those notifications from the server. So here I would recommend putting apps like games or like whatever apps you don't need any notifications from and need them only running when you actually open that app. For example, I would put let's say Google TV. I don't really think it needs to refresh in the background. Also, no, Facebook, I need notifications from Facebook. So calculator, avatar stickers, stuff like that. But if I had games, I would definitely put them here, unless I really wanted notifications from games. But I don't. Now it's time for also talking about notifications. You can also like make the app refresh in the background if you need that, because maybe like for maps you need to need them to refresh in the background. So when you close the app, you still like receive the like instructions on whether to turn right or left and everything, but you want to disable notifications, or for whatever other reasons, you can actually go to notifications and go to where is it? It is going to be in app notifications, and now select an app that you don't need notifications from, like for example Chrome. I don't really need that. Also, like I can disable like I don't know, Galaxy themes and gallery and whatever. So I will not receive notifications from them, and that saves battery as well. Now, while we're still in notifications, let's see some other things here. There is hiding content when locked. So when your phone is locked, the notifications typically still display their content. You can see it's set to show always, which means my phone is currently locked. And hold on a second, I forgot that here. You can see all my contents are visible. You can see like my messages, maybe not my messages not, but some of these are visible. And if you want to hide the content, you can simply select hide when locked. Now, when my phone is locked, my notifications content is locked. So that is really cool and gives you more privacy, right? Then notification history. If you've dismissed a notification and want to go back to it, you can see the notification history. To do it, in notification settings, go to advanced settings and notification history. Now we can see it's enabled, and whenever I dismiss a notification, it will appear right here, so I can go back to it. And the last thing in notifications is going to be do not disturb mode. You can enable it whenever you want to not receive any notifications. This is basically something like the modes and routines I've shown you, but it's just that without like setting a certain mode. And the advantage of that is that you can set it manually here when to turn it off, and that's it. Now it's time for making our phone faster or our storage larger. You have a choice between those two, which is called RAM Plus. I'll explain it, but first let's go to the settings to actually find it. I hope it is on this phone. I haven't checked it yet if it's on the S26 Ultra. It should be, but there's a chance it's not there. Let's see it. Hold on, I don't remember. Okay, it's going to be in storage, I believe. Sorry, not storage. What am I talking about? Memory. Now, you can also optimize your memory. So you can select Clean Now to speed up your phone like immediately. But now let's talk about RAM Plus. RAM is your like short-term memory on the phone, and the more of it there is, the faster the phone is. And if you go to RAM Plus, you can actually change the amount of RAM Plus memory there is on your phone. And if you set it, you can disable it. So there's just the built-in RAM, which is 6 gigabytes here. And it's like, I think it's just okay. But you can increase it by 2, 4, 6, 8, or 12 gigabytes. And that makes your phone faster, but it uses the storage in order to fill in those gigabytes. So if you want to save on storage, you can use less gigabytes, but it may make your phone a little slower, or like AI features work a little worse or whatever. But yeah, you can, for example, set it to 12 to make your phone as fast as possible. And that's basically it. Requires a restart, by the way, when changing those settings. Yeah, so that's what we have here. Now it's time for another section of this video, which is display and interface. You can change the touch sensitivity if you have a screen protector installed and the touch sensitivity is not enough. If sometimes it doesn't recognize touches, you just go to display and casually just enable touch sensitivity to make the screen more sensitive to touch. And then accidental touch protection, which is also in the display settings. You can find it right here. When you enable it, when that phone is in a dark place such as a pocket or a bag, when it discovers it, then it will not recognize accidental touches, and that's great because you don't want to text someone accidentally. Now, going back to widgets, which were mentioned earlier in the video, you can actually, that is super useful for like everyday usage. You can actually add a widget of an alarm. And for me, that's super useful because I don't have my alarms set to a schedule. I just enable them whenever I go to sleep. And, you know, sometimes I don't remember about it. But sometimes I'm just like lazy. I don't want to go into the clock app. So what I do is I add a clock widget, alarm widget. And let's do like the smallest one, or we can do whatever else one. You can add it. Let's click on start and select an alarm, and now that alarm here is added, so you can enable or disable it so it will go off or not. Now the thing is that you can only set one here, but of course you can create widget stacks, which is so freaking cool, because you can just add another alarm. Where's the clock? Here's the clock. Let's add another one. Let's click on start. Let's add an alarm to like 6 a.m. Let's add it here, and now let's put it on top of it. And now we have different alarms. That's so cool. Now it's time for our notification pop-up styles. Because maybe you don't want the notifications to look like they do. Maybe you want them a little different. Then you can, of course, do it. It's Samsung. You can do anything. Go to notifications, go to notification pop-up style, and you can set it to brief or detailed. And now detailed is going to look different because when I receive a notification, like right now. Okay, sorry, I have the silent mode. I forgot about that. Sorry, I have the do not disturb. Right, yeah. Now, let's receive a notification again. I have the full notification, of course, privacy display as well. But when I set it to brief, then when I receive it, I just have a short version of it without buttons and with like less text on it. So yeah, that is it. Then there is a screen timeout on your phone, which I do like to change immediately after getting the phone in display. In screen timeout, and you can set it to 15 seconds up to 10 minutes. And what it does is it's the time of an activity on your phone after which your screen will go dark. And for people who tend to forget to like click on this button to turn their phone off, I think it's better to set it to a lower time. So when you leave your phone somewhere, it locks itself before someone gets to like mess around with it. So let's do 15 seconds, let's say. But for me, as a person who records videos with phones and sometimes speaks a lot, I prefer to set it to like 10 minutes, so I can actually like speak and talk and the phone doesn't go off. So that is great that you can set it. And now there is some fun things that we can do with media, but there's also some productivity things that we can do with media. So when you go to a gallery, you can find different videos, of course, on your phone, very likely. Like this. This is a very creative video. Yeah. And when I click here on three dots, I can open it in video player. And I can now click on GIF button and select the time of the GIF, then the speed of the GIF, and create a GIF out of it. That is really, really cool. Now, I know this video isn't the best example, but yeah, you can do it, then save it, and the fun part is that you can actually, let's close it. Did I save it? I hope I did. Let's see. I did. Okay. Now, when I go into the contacts, that's another thing, is that you can save GIFs as people's profile pictures. So when I edit my contact, I can click on picture and select a different image, then select that GIF. Now click on done, and as you can see, it's a GIF now. Now the last two things are going to be extracting text in keyboard, which is pretty useful, and voice recording highlights. So let's jump to those last two. Sorry, there's going to be three. The last one is going to be secret for now. So yeah, let's go to like wherever. Now, when you open the keyboard, you can select handwriting by clicking on three dots in handwriting, and you can actually write with your S Pen. So if you like it that way, some people do, I'm sure about that. They could either do that or just type, like, okay, I'm in notes, so let's go back here and let's say hard reset. It's probably not going. Okay, it did. .info. Okay, and as you can see, it works pretty well. So that's great. You can do it like that if you want to just like scribble. And then there's voice recording highlights. So if you start a voice recording and like you, let's say, do an interview and you decide that part of the interview is very important, you can just highlight it and it'll stay highlighted there. Then let's say another part was important, highlight it, and now when I finish the recording and save it, you will notice that when I go into it, I can find the highlights here, so I can easily notice where the important parts were, and I can add them afterwards after it's recorded as well. So that is great. And now the last thing is that if you want to gift your phone to an elderly person or someone that's not experienced with phones or needs a simpler UI or like for whatever other reason, you can set something called simple mode. If you go to settings then display, you can scroll all the way down, I believe. Sorry, not all the way down. There's easy mode. And when you enable it, it makes the phone easier because it enables high contrast keyboards, it does touch and hold delay, and also it makes everything larger on the screen, so it's easier to read. Now the home screen gets very, very simple. That's how you open the all apps menu now, so you don't really need to really pay attention to like how to open it. You just do it like that. And what's great is that you can also see the magnifier here, so you can very easily open the magnifier to magnify something that you can't see in person. And the last thing is going to be this page, which has favorite contacts. Click on any of those, then add an existing contact or create a new one. Select a contact and it'll be added to your favorite contact, so you can easily click and call or message them. And that is basically it for this video. I know it's quite long, but I hope that it was helpful, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one, of course.